This might get a little awkward. I don't usually talk so openly about what I'm going to talk about, but I had my friend, his name is Ramit Sethi, on our podcast, Business of Influence. He has a show on Netflix all about how to get rich. And in front of all of my employees on the podcast to the public, he started giving tips and talking about how to negotiate a higher salary. And so what I'm about to do is give you tips, tricks, and strategies you need to negotiate a higher salary. I apologize to any CEOs or bosses, but it's good that you know this. Now, before I give you my tips, here's a clip from the Business of Influence podcast on what Ramit said.
Let's say my boss wasn't just sitting in that chair right there.
Are we about to do a negotiation for real right now?
No, it's all hypothetical.
How can someone negotiate their salary?
All right, I'll tell you.
Don't make this awkward, because again, my boss is sitting right there.
If this ends up generating...
Everyone close your ears.
If this ends up generating someone in this room $75,000 in a raise, I'm happy for you. All right,
Taking notes.
Most people, they walk into their boss's office and they go, I'd like to have more money. And their boss is like, and? I'd like to have a Ferrari, and? That's the wrong way to do it, because it's all about you. And your boss they like you, but they don't care about all the things you want. Here's a better way. First off, you send an email to your boss. You say, you know what? I'd love to sit down and I'd love to discuss my career progression. Make time on the calendar. Second, you sit down with your boss and you come in and you say, I want to be a top performer in this job. I want to know what it takes to become a top performer and to make your life easier. And we come up with a few things that would make me do an extraordinary job. And you press them because you want specific. It's not like, be nice, help drive sales. No, I want to know specific metrics. Improve website conversion 1.3%, et cetera, drive 200 leads a day. And at the end, where you're going back and forth, you say, you know what? If I'm able to accomplish these things in the next 6 to 12 months, I'd love to discuss a compensation adjustment. But for now, let me just work on this. And your boss is gonna go, oh my God.
Initiative.
Exactly. No one's ever come to me asking how to be better at their job and take things off my plate. So your boss is thrilled. You go back to your desk, you write these things down, document it, send the email. I'll report back every Friday or every second Friday. So every second Friday, this is where you actually have to do the work. You need to drive those leads, drive the sales, whatever it is. And you're reporting, hey, here's where I am. I'm behind on this. I'm ahead on this, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of the time period, let's say 6 months, you walk in and this is the meeting where it's all gonna go down. So first of all, I have this thing called the briefcase technique. You can look it up on YouTube. And you can theatrically bring in a briefcase or a bag. It's fun. Make it fun. So you walk in, you say, you know what? As discussed 6 months ago, we talked about 3 metrics. You've probably been reading the emails. I'm so pleased to let you know that I've hit all 3. Here's the numbers. Here were before and after. And this will result in a projected XYZ revenue. And everyone's happy, you're clapping, it's great. You say, now, then pull out that briefcase and theatrically, slowly, you pull out 3 or 4 pieces of paper. You go, I did a little research in the marketplace. And according to salary.com, Glassdoor, et cetera, here's what somebody of my experience and skill level would be making on the open market. I'd like to discuss a compensation adjustment. Now, this is how you negotiate for a salary increase. Walking in saying, give me money, you might as well just kick yourself out. But doing the work, making your boss's life easier, showing them that you are indispensable, that makes that conversation so much easier. Now, let me pause and just see, Ryan, what do you think about that?
I have no comment to this conversation. I'm just waiting for it to be over.
I see just sweat just coming.
He's nervous.
What are you doing giving these people ammunition?
I'll tell you what I really like about this. You can't go in and just ask for $30,000 more, okay? You can't. You need to benchmark yourself against the market. That's the fact of the matter. But in addition to that, you can't just ask for more money because you've been there for longer, et cetera. You gotta do the work.
Yeah.
And your boss will recognize that. Now, if your boss does not, if you're not being paid what the market should pay you, then 2 things. Number 1, make sure you check. Are you actually accurately pulling data from these sites? And second, if they're not willing to do it, then you may want to go elsewhere. But what I find is that most people don't do any of this work in order to get a raise. And if you do it, you should be rewarded.
Yeah, I think, you know, and you think about too, right? The person who is paying you not what you deserve, right? They're paying you what you're worth. to them. And so there's a big difference. And I think, like you said, a lot of employees, and I have this all the time, come to me with this idea that, hey, I deserve more money, instead of saying, hey, I'm actually worth more money, and here's why, and let me actually prove it to you. Like a NBA player, they get paid tons of money, not because they deserve it. It's not because they're like, hey, I'm the best, I deserve it. It's because they're worth it to that owner of that team because of how many tickets they're going to be able to sell, the ratings on the, everything that adds up together. Yeah. And so I think if you understand kind of that dynamic, then you do exactly what you just said, and you come in, you prove it. This is what I'm going to do. This is where I want to get to. And actually, one of the things Adrian told me when he first started working with me, because we started just like this little, one-man media team together, and we started talking about what if we grow this into something much bigger. And then when we start our own company, we have something, we'll call it studios, and we'll have this whole internal media team. How do I grow into, not just being the guy that, films you brushing your teeth and stuff. And what he said is, be the role before you are the role. Like if I want to be somebody who manages other content creators, I'm going to do that now. You don't have to pay me more because I'm going to show you that I am the role before I am the role.
Amazing.
And then I will prove the worth. And then you're just going to come to me and say, well, I can't lose you now because you just invented this new job that I now need. Yeah. So sure, please let's figure this out together.
I love that. Very creative, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
How you're in $3,724 worth of collection debt, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. We're going to talk about that off camera.
Now, I know I can be overly verbose myself sometimes, but I'm going to be succinct here. So here are my 3 tips on negotiating a higher salary. Number 1, you need to leverage your unique value. You need to understand what your unique value to your company, your firm, your team, your single boss actually is. Research your role. Now you might say, oh man, I'm a graphic designer. Graphic designers at Apple make $500,000. Yeah, at Apple, you get paid commensurate with the work that you do and the challenges that you solve relative to the company that you're at. If you're at a small company, your challenges might feel big, but they are fixing things at a small firm. So your pay is only going to be in line with what the company is going to be able to afford you. But the benefit of being somewhere small is that you are in line with the C-suite. Maybe you only work for one person. You were right there. You're a co-pilot versus going and working at a huge firm where you think it's great. You got these benefits, sick time, but you are just a number. Good luck over there. Really communicate and define your unique value. If you've been watching my vlogs for a really long time, you have heard me talking about being the role before you are the role. So hopefully before you sit down with your boss or manager, you have already started to be the next role before you are that role. So that when you sit down with the person who makes that decision, they say, wow, yeah, you've already taken on a lot of other responsibilities and you didn't come and ask me for more money just to do them. You're an initiative taker. You're a go-getter. You work for this company. I really appreciate you. I can't afford to lose you. Tip number 2, set a bold anchor. If you right now make $60,000 a year and you want to get to 80, ask for 90. If you make 100 and you want to get to 125, if you want to get to 150, I don't know if I'd ask for 200, I'd probably let you go. But make sure that you have a bold anchor that is defined in reason, because remember, you're not paid what you deserve. You're paid what you're worth. Every employee I have, I appreciate every single one of them. I know they could work everywhere, but they are paid what they're worth to me. Some are worth a lot more based on what they bring in. Some are paid nothing, but they're commissioned through the roof. Set a bold anchor. Figure out a number that's a little bit higher than what you want. Some time off that's more than what you expect. Some benefits that are more than maybe what the company offers. And be prepared to negotiate. Tip number 3 is you need to express a willingness to walk away. If you're going to ask for more money before it's been indicated to you that you're actually worth more money to the company, be prepared for a no. Be prepared for a bump that is not anything close to what you're looking for, and be prepared to actually walk away. Anytime you ask for more, the answer could always be no. Are you asking for more because you honestly think you are worth more, or do you just want more? And remember too, don't throw away what you want the most, which I assume is a big career, for what you want right now. Because someone got in your ear when you were drunk on Friday nights that you're not paid enough. Fuck that place. You should get paid more. And now what you want right now, because now your ego's been bruised, is going to potentially blow up what you want the most. And if you don't like it, go drive a UPS truck. In the next 5 years, their drivers are going to be making $170,000 a year. You know how hard it's going to be to get that job now? So what they've really done is they've upped the quality of their driver by saying, we're going to pay you this, and they made them stickier so they don't go drive trucks for Amazon. That's really what it's about. So for you, understand your unique value proposition, set that anchor, and be willing to walk away. If not, start your own company. Go for it. I did it. It's really hard. But you can do it. I have faith in you. Thank you for watching more Ryan Serhant. Thank you for watching the vlog. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, send it to everyone, subscribe to Business of Influence, go and watch our podcast. We put a lot of love, effort, and work into it. We have some really, really cool guests that have recorded with us so far, and we've got some awesome ones coming up. I love you.